If you decide to take off from the police in a vehicle in a high-speed chase, the odds are already against you. And once you bail from the vehicle on foot, the odds get even worse. And if you barricade inside of a house, you're done. And you're absolutely going to end up in the back of a police car and straight to jail. This is one of those. If you're driving and you see the police make a U-turn right after you pass, it's going to make anyone nervous. However, the technology exists now that police can catch your plate and your plate can be run. And if you're doing anything wrong, the police are likely going to know from technology. Technology has gotten so advanced nowadays. It's really a benefit to policing. Seeing this car and immediately turn on the lights, it makes me think that this is a BOLO vehicle. A BOLO is a be on the lookout. So the officer saw the vehicle, immediately made a U-turn. And again, when you see that, if you're in that car, you're gonna be like, oh, they're coming after me. And if he went immediate to lights and siren, he obviously knows what they're looking for in this. So he tried to pull a fast one and flip a quick U-turn. The officer is really calm, good radio traffic, and great driving skills. Was able to make the U-turn and be right back on the vehicle.
Wrecked out at Armor and 63B. He's on foot somewhere.
I don't know if you caught that, but they bailed from the vehicle and I saw the shoes. They left the shoes right at the scene, so they're running without shoes. At least one of them is.
Water, blackmail.
I'm not sure. He's running for the apartment complex in School and Armor. Looks like black male, 2 black males, black jacket, jeans. They just ran to the apartment complex. 156. We've got coverage on apartment 56. I believe it's going to be Eagle Street. 1 black male, black jacket inside. The other black male, red and white jacket, has continued westbound. Unknown location.
Okay, so this is interesting. So the officer says he saw for sure, and I like the person who edited this. The edit is really good because I get to see kind of both sides from the officer's vehicle and from another side as well. So the officer elects to take up this position on the residence. And if you count it off, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's like on the 1, 2 of this residence. And what's interesting is, and this happens a lot, his vehicle is just to the left, and that's the cover that he has. Sometimes when we're in the mix, we elect to jump out and want to cover down on the vehicle without cover for ourselves. He can get just as much coverage if he moves his vehicle and still see both of those sides and then have the cover of his vehicle. Standing out in the open like that, which we see all these officers, is a tactical challenge, and you don't want to see any officers get hurt. The other thing is, immediately we're going to start thinking about who's inside this place or the places next door.
I've got Board and Pro and ASP units for me. He's winning 56 in the front door. The other one continued westbound, red and white jacket. He went through the field this way, westbound. Red and white jacket, black male.
Let's look at this here. So it looks like the officer is briefing another officer, and we're still in this 1-2 position here. We see the front and we see the side. Still, we don't have cover, but the officer was really quick to get on it. This is just an observation. These places look like the walls would be paper thin. So the things that are going through the mind, if we do engage with rounds, can they potentially go through these other apartments? We want to make sure that number 55 and 54 are evacuated. The other thing is, I'm looking at this, I'm going to make sure that we're doing evacuations and that there's a log of who we're evacuating. And then, is this guy's apartment, or did he just commit a home invasion? Crossfire is another thing that we want to look at, especially when we look at these walls. The other thing is we want to get an intel person to get the manager of the apartment to say, okay, who lives there? Who could be in the other places? What doors can people go out of the back if we don't have coverage on the back? So far, there's a lot of good things happening, but a lot that has to occur in these kinds of dynamic situations.
We're in 56. That's mine, yeah. Yeah. That's PA. It's on the, if you're looking for radio, it's on the left, on the magnet.
Occupant to apartment 56. Come outside. We're not going anywhere. Come outside with your hands up. Occupant to apartment
you need to kill that volume just a little bit. You can. It's right here on this far out. Grab my rifle right here. Car stolen.
Occupants at apartment 56. Come outside. Put your hands up. We're not going anywhere.
Down the street, back to the south of the border. Do we know whose apartment it is yet?
Don't know.
You know what
Is it? Okay.
and he's on phone trying to figure it out. Hey, can we do something real quick?
Yeah.
We back your car up at this spot.
So a lot of challenging things occurring here. So I saw the officer that was attempting to use the PA, and it looks like it said DEA on the back of his vest, which would lead me to believe he's a DEA agent. So he's a different jurisdiction. So you have multi-jurisdictional situation here where sometimes the communication isn't necessarily the greatest because they don't work together on a regular basis, especially in this type of function. So getting on the PA was a bit of a challenge. And what commands are we getting? The other thing is what's happening on the other side of these apartments, which seem like they have paper thin walls, and we're seeing the deployment of long guns, which I'm not saying is a bad call. What I'm saying is we have to be concerned because I have seen rounds like that go through those walls like they were paper, and that can occur. So it's something that you have to be cognizant of on the deployment of the rifle and where everyone is and what residents are living in those places where rounds could potentially go.
Yeah, you can take it.
I can do it.
Okay, if you want to do it. Yeah, I got you.
Apartment 56. Come outside with your hands up. Police department. We're not going anywhere.
Chris, when you're going to get out, I'll step in front of you and cover you on your way out. We're in
So I'd like you to take note of something here. If you look at the officers in the left corner, there's one officer facing one direction, another officer facing in another direction, and standing, right there on those walls. Now, I don't believe that that's where the suspect went inside of. The peril that officers put themselves in to protect other people or to take people into custody, because like I said, those walls are paper thin, but officers put themselves in this degree of peril to try to get people into custody, and they don't know if this is a home invasion, so they want to make sure that there's no one inside that can potentially be held hostage.
Neighbors in, see?
Not yet.
Hey,
Say
we're
it
trying
first.
to make contact there and get them out.
Do we need to clear that next one over or no?
No, we might just went to try to make a traffic stop on it. I don't know if they slid.
Get in the house.
Yeah, it's a stolen car. It had a Mississippi tab in it. They tried to get behind it and they hauled balls, getting away down. Harrisburg Road, ended up getting out on top of it. Cornell saw them, so they ended up bouncing out of the car over here.
So at this point, when you have suspect potentially barricaded inside of this residence, it's now time to likely call out the negotiators, the trained people who deal with these kinds of things on a regular basis. And you've heard me mention before that I was on the negotiation team in Vegas for quite some time. And this is where you'd get the call out that says, possible barricade, suspect fled from a vehicle, black male adult between the ages such and such at such and such location. And then the team assembles and goes to that location. And you have to put down whatever it is you're doing at the time, kids, game, date, whatever it is you're doing, you leave that thing and you go to this call out. The team assembles and then you begin the negotiations. However, under this dynamic situation, and this happens a lot of times if you don't have a negotiation team accessible, you handle it on scene just like this and you start PAing the person to ask them to come out. An important thing from an officer perspective is to get as much intel as you possibly can so that you can brief the negotiators on what it is you're looking for and who it is you're looking for. So when they begin their negotiation, they can have a plan on how to get the person to come out of the location.
Okay. I'll let you know. Okay. Hey, Matt. Hey, we're in the middle of something like that.
I'm coming y'all's way as well. What's going on with him though is he's not giving us any more info, so I'm not sure.
We're still trying to figure out if there was an apartment Yeah, I know that. They were trying to figure out whose apartment this is, I believe.
It looks like they have another officer or officers attempting to find out whose residence it is, and they're going to log that information. So this is a normal practice. Find out what apartments have been evacuated, find out whose apartment that is, so they can figure out what the next steps are.
We're sure he went in that apartment.
I'm positive. I seen it.
You was?
This is my car, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the second one took off, continued this that way.
And nobody ever got him?
Nobody ever chased after him. So there's one somewhere outstanding in a red and white jacket. He's probably ditched it, though.
Okay.
I've got a...
They know that?
Yes. Well, I've let radio...
That's never came through on our radio.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. Hey, go tell Chris to tell Brian Arnold. He's got the drone.
I've got one, too. Black male, red and white jacket. He continued westbound when this one ran into the apartment.
So he and the other,
Both didn't know.
Continue west.
One continued westbound. I don't know if he went around the city shop over here or not. I let all of that on the radio, but I don't know if it came in on y'all's end.
Yeah. And there's still one more outstanding. He continued west.
One went in the apartment, one went west.
Hey,
He was black male, red and white jacket, dark colored pants.
black female and black male live here, drive a 4-wheel white Charger.
Their name is Don just told us he was here last week. He's running the backup session. Don.
Okay.
So the officer is reiterating that one went in their residence, and there's another one that's outstanding that the other officers are looking for.
I know you're holding on that right now, but
What?
I don't know. Get over now. I'm on my way out there. That boy, I know contact with him at all.
16. Did you hear all that while ago? Did you hear him while ago?
Okay, interesting. A point I like to really make about these is these can go on for hours. I've been on these things where you're on it for hours and fatigue sets in, whether it's the elements, super hot, super cold. A lot of times you get this right before you're supposed to go on meal break, stomach is growling, holding a rifle or a firearm for an extended period of time. That is also another degree of fatigue. The other thing is once you have officers on these scenes like this, as a sergeant, you're gonna hear the other calls that are coming out in the area. A domestic here, then the victim is standing by waiting and they're scared that the male's gonna come back. All these different things, these calls, and you got all these officers, so you have to have the presence of mind. Say, can I cut this guy so he can go handle that call? Can I get a neighboring jurisdiction to assist? The other thing is there are at least what I counted 4 jurisdictions. I saw city, county, I saw state police, and then the DEA, who's a federal agent. So you got 4 different jurisdictions. So there's a lot of different potential policies, procedures, and the ability to work together is key in these kinds of situations.
Morgan, our detectives, they think it's his apartment. They were here last week. Our detective's in the middle of typing up a search warrant on it. They've got movement at the back. That's what they just said a while ago.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear the movement at the back? Movement on the back.
No. What channel are you on? Go to ours.
They're getting a search warrant, which is exactly the steps that you want to go in this kind of situation. You want to make sure that if you go into this residence that you're going in legally. The other thing is there's a thing called exigent circumstances. And I'll explain to you the exigent circumstance where this could have been where the officers entered without a search warrant. In a hot pursuit, where if the officer is right on the guy's tail and the guy goes inside the residence, the officer doesn't have to get a search warrant before he goes inside. This guy just broke into a residence and the officer is right on him. This is an exigent circumstance. If all of a sudden they hear screaming, help me, I need you, help me, that's exigent. You can't wait for a search warrant. Under those circumstances, the police would be absolutely fine going inside the residence. But if you have time to get a search warrant, get a search warrant. Even after you go inside under exigent circumstances, you should still consider getting a search warrant if you're going to be doing any searching. Search warrants are not going to hurt you. It will hurt you in cases where you think that you are exempt from getting a search warrant and you're really not. And all of that evidence can be gone.
We've got a team of 7 on this and have Randy and Patch Usson County.
Okay, so we've got, no, Doper's back in town. Me and Gonzo and Lowry are the ones that want to and Levi.
For everyone on the scene in Bono, if we would drop to JPD 7, can you patch JPD 7 and the county together?
Yeah, one of them pulled up in an apartment. We think it's his apartment. Bono's getting searched for.
For everyone on scene in Bono, please drop to JPD 7.
Yeah, I think
Should be getting
That's y'all's
flashed.
chief over there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Milam, is that?
No,
what's his name?
Chief Parrish is our bonos.
Parrish. Oh, that was Mike? Okay. That was Mike Parrish. But yeah, one's on foot and one's in the apartment. So.
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
What was the last place he was seen over
The last place I seen was around this dumpster running westbound. Yeah. I had my
on the west side of these
I had my eyes on this guy going in the apartment. I looked. He was running around that dumpster, and I went back to the apartment. I don't know from there. He could have went that way. He could have went back that way towards the houses. I don't know. Movement at the back window.
Is that what they just said?
Yeah.
Movement at the back window. Are y'all getting that through the radio? I guess we're all so close over here. It's just been pretty long.
The guy in red ran. The guy in the black went in the apartment.
We're gonna pop reverse one?
Yeah, our detective's in the middle of it right now. They believe it's going to be his apartment.
Hey, come out! Show me your hands!
Come out.
Step out! Step out right now! Step out! Step out!
Step out.
Step out! Turn around! Back up! Back up!
Come on, hands up.
Both y'all, turn around and back up! Back up! Turn around! Stop!
Ready?
Walk backwards.
Come back!
You in the white t-shirt. Come back. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep facing away from us and walking backwards. Keep walking back. Keep walking back. Stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
In custody, really smooth. They decided to come out. I have a feeling on why I believe they came out that way. No shoes on and kind of humbled, but I'm going to continue watching this. But I'll tell you something interesting. If you look at what the officers did, they were super calm in their commands. They seemed like they were on point. I just don't know who was on the other side in the crossfire situation. I imagine that they would have made sure that that's clear, even though they came out without any warning. But here's another thing. In these kinds of situations, they could have prone those guys out in the mud. They elected to have them come back and cuff them standing up, which shows that they're not trying to humiliate them in any way. Even though they ran and had to chase them, they just took them into custody. They don't have any emotion involved. It's a good thing. Good stuff.
What car are you going to put? Let's go back here.
Who else is in the house?
Who else is in there?
Nobody.
He's saying nobody's in there. Nobody else is in there. What's your name? Bakari. Bakari Nelson. Bakari Nelson.
One other thing I want to mention is the officer said that only one of them went inside the residence. I don't know where the confusion was, and I don't know if there was just a time lapse between when the officer saw the one guy go in, or maybe the first guy went in before the officer got a view on him. So it's just interesting that you can think, and this happens to me, you think that you see something for sure 100%, and then it's not necessarily that. Or maybe there was a third, I don't know, I don't think so. But it's just interesting how he was so adamant that there was only one that went in and then two came out.
What car are you going to put him in?
What's your car? McCarr, who lives here? You don't know?
Yeah, friend house.
You got a friend's house. You stay over here out of the rocks. Who else in the apartment?
It's a friend in there.
He in there right now? Who is it?
Female.
Female. What's her name?
Sugar.
Sugar? You got a phone number for her? Just be advised, there's one female still in the apartment named Sugar. What's her real name?
I don't even know her.
Where's Brayden?
I don't even know where it is.
That's the apartment it's supposed to be. Yeah, her name's Sugar. If you can yell, probably tell her to come outside, because
You want to put him in a car, or what are we going to do?
there she goes. Oh, baby.
Let's just stand on the other side of this car, okay? Hey, bud, come over here. Let's go stand on the other side of this car. Over there. On the other side of that car, just in case anybody else is in that apartment. I don't want y'all to get shot if bullets start flying. Come over here, okay? Alright, hang tight. Have a seat right here. Have a seat right there.
I just stand like this.
Sit down.
So there was a female inside with an infant. The officers are drawn down on the apartment, and this infant is put through this kind of situation where these people enter the residence, and it appears that they know each other and that this wasn't some unknown apartment that they went into. Here's the other thing to think about. The reason I believe they came out, it's not their apartment. They know this female, and she's like, you guys got to get out of here. The police are here. They're not leaving. You're going to get me evicted. That happens so frequently, and I don't know for sure that that's what happened in this situation, but if they know her, they run to her place and they're inside, and all of a sudden the police are around there. People can get evicted when the police show up 19 deep with rifles commanding people to get out, and 2 people ran into your residence that you know. Not a good thing, especially when you have an infant. Child Protective Services thing potentially as well.
All the way down. You too, man.
The practice of having them sit together and be able to converse with each other, not the best practice. Best and normal practice in that circumstance is to separate them and put them each in a separate vehicle. It seems like they have more than enough vehicles there. Separating them and not letting them talk, formulate any type of plan, or come up with any kind of story to match stories, especially now they're in custody, best practice.
Which one you want? I'll be ready. 1, 2, 3. Where you gonna put this on?
No,
Board.
either Jonesboro or DPS.
You put him in my car for now?
Yes. One in your car and then Rogers.
1, 2. We're gonna go with this black Duran and go over here. Hey, Don, search him before you put him in there. Got anything on you? Hey, man, I'm just gonna double lock keys on him.
Are you on probation or parole?
One of them was.
You were on probation? Where at?
There's a sign to a female, I don't know.
Are you on felony probation or misdemeanor probation?
I can find out if you need me to.
What's your name? NELSON? How do you spell your first name?
BACARI.
What's your middle name?
Yeah, I don't know. You gonna talk to me for a second? They've not been Mirandized that I know of, so. Okay. I was gonna walk my car yesterday with it, and then there was one already down there, and I forgot to take it out.
He's on felony probation.
Is it?
So we have 5 jurisdictions now because I believe this is a probation or PMP officer, parole or probation officer on scene. And I've said this in my videos before. They are a phenomenal resource. They can do a whole bunch of things that regular officers cannot do. I do also want to mention, and I mentioned in my videos, and only the officer can answer it, are you in the shape to be in the fight of your life? That is not only with the suspect, there's also cardiovascular health. It can happen any given day, any given shift. Talk about this frequently.
You have somebody in your car?
Yes.
Okay. You care to go down and do the tow sheet and wait on the record? Yeah, they're going to.
You need a tow sheet?
They're going
County units here now unpatched from city.
to take the GPS and take the city.
You need a thing?
I've got it. Everything's good. Everybody did a good job. All doing good. Appreciate it. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You're aging well, though.
Okay, there we have it. Overall, really good job. I mean, these dynamic situations, so many different things can happen, and you have to figure out things on the fly in a lot of situations. Both persons were taken into custody. No one was injured. The officers used the amount of force that was definitely necessary to be used under the circumstances. In the original video, which is pinned, it says that they were arrested for fleeing charges and for the stolen vehicle. And the female's apartment they ran into, it is so frequent that I see where a person has friends or people they think are their friends, and they choose to run to their residence to run away from the police. That is a person who is not your friend. That has to be a lesson to people, especially if you have an infant, because I'm sure that this opened the door to other levels of investigation to make sure that that infant is all right. I hope that that young lady and these young men make better choices going forward. Happy to see that all the officers were okay and that the suspects were taken into custody as they should have. If you like this kind of content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the videos on your screen for more content just like this.